Welcome back to Cryptobanter.com. And if you've been watching social media, there's been something going around about Etoro limiting purchases to clients. And people have interpreted this as if there is a Bitcoin supply shortage. In fact, let's look at what's going on Twitter. If you have been on Twitter, you would have seen that people have been posting this. It says, we would like to give you advance notice of possible limitations to buy crypto this coming weekend. We are seeing unprecedented conditions in the crypto market, which have led to the increased demand for crypto from Etoro users, both old and new. We're doing all we can to manage this demand and to maintain the best customer experience possible. So that's what's going on in social media. And many people have said that this sounds like there's a supply shortage of Bitcoin. Now, we're going to speak about that. But first of all, what I wanted to do was bring in my friend, Yoni, ASSIA, who's the CEO and founder of Etoro. Yoni, welcome to Crypto Banter.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yoni, you look happy. That must mean that business is good.
We have had we just ended a crazy 2020, right? So, and I was telling everybody Happy New Year, and I hope for a safer and saner 2021. But 2021 obviously started even crazier. So we just started the year, and we saw week over week growth of something like 400, 500% in all of the various KPIs. Got to a point where we took from 8 million trades a week to 25 million trades a week in the first week of January. So it's for the first time, I think a lot of people talked about whether are we in a crypto rally during November and December 2020. And I constantly told people we're not there yet. It's very far from where we were in December 2017. January 2021 started like the crypto rally of December 2017.
Okay, so you've made some big statements there. So in the numbers, now I know what the feeling looks like. It feels to me like we're entering the hype cycle. It feels to me slightly different this time because we've got the institutions apparently buying and Grayscale buying on behalf of the institutions. In fact, we saw them come back into the market, and yesterday they bought 2,300 odd Bitcoin. Are the retail clients back in? And if the retail clients are back in, is it a new kind of retail client, or is this accounts from 2017 which are just being reignited?
So the answer is both. We've seen a surge of customers who came originally to Etoro in 2017 coming back with an appetite for more. But I would say that the biggest difference between January 2021 and what we've seen in November and December. So this rally started in November, December, but in November, December, if you look at even Google Trends and search for Bitcoin in Google Trends and take it all the way to 2017, you could say, okay, the rally hasn't really started from sort of the mass market. And January 21 just started to look like a retail rally again. That looks very much like December 2017. Now, it might be July 2017. So July 2017, we've also seen sort of a rally through July, August, but then that had a market correction, and it stayed there for a while before December 2017. So it's unclear exactly the similarities between those two. So are we closer to the peak of December or not? But it's definitely something that we haven't seen in 2020 yet, and we haven't seen this kind of surge in demand. And demand is new registrations, which I think were about 380,000 new registrations in the first week of January, but also just the pure volumes of crypto were 25 times higher in the first week of January versus the average of last year on Etoro. So
compare it for me to 2017. When you say 380,000 in the first weeks of January, tell me about how that compares with your peak in 2017.
So again, there's a question week by week or month by month, but for us, potentially, this is now bigger. So in size and scale, what we're seeing right now could potentially translate to something bigger.
Now, Yoni, you've obviously heard the phrase, this time it's different. And I know that you're a stock man, and I know you study cycles and stock markets and stuff like that. But is it different this time? Or are you now expecting this huge correction like we saw a month after the hype in 2017?
So first of all, I do believe market cycles, bubbles and bursts are a part of how markets work. And obviously both stock markets are frothy and crypto prices are frothy. And that's just because, again, there's a new stimulus pack. The dollar is actually sort of, being eroded in value. So it actually makes sense from a macro point of view for asset prices to go up. But that is what happens in every single bubble. People explain why assets of everything are going up, right? So we have a very good explanation. Zero interest rates for the medium term, at least, if not the long term. We have more and more printing of money, so a great justification to prices going higher and higher and higher. But history teaches us that every bubble ends in a burst. Now, there's a question, as I said, and this is something we're looking at and we'll probably share in the next couple of days. Where are we in 2017? Is 40,000 the 20,000 of 2017? Or should we expect another, for the 40,000 to go to 80,000 before we see a correction and that stabilizes on, let's call it, the next stable price of crypto? What's 100% certain is that right now the market is very volatile and it's still unclear where that market is going to stabilize. Again, intuitively after the current correction, we should see, and again, because we are seeing now more and more customers coming in, we see retail demand surging, we see search for crypto surging on the internet, that usually suggests there's a sort of the markets are going to get higher before they're going to correct.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess we've been speaking about this parabola, and we don't know exactly where we are in the parabola, but we certainly are somewhere in the parabola, and we don't know when it ends. Now, obviously, we know that in bull markets, we justify to ourselves why the asset is justified to run, and in bear markets, we justify ourselves why it should run. Question is, what could end this bull market? When you look at macro conditions, when you look at stocks, you say, okay, look, there's a stimulus coming up, at least another $3 trillion stimulus. Interest rates are at zero. The economy is an absolute mess. Markets are at an all-time high. What ends this bull run?
So what makes any sort of bull run end is an event. And that event just leads to a deleveraging of the system, right? So the system, by definition, is leveraged. Prices are high because the entire ecosystem is significantly leveraged, and usually some event causes people to deleverage. So March 2020 was a good example of what could happen in the stock markets, right? So basically, people were afraid. Institutions came out after the stock markets. The market fell down significantly. And retail investors actually came flocking in the millions into the markets to buy those stocks and actually made a great decision for 2020. So 2020 was a great year for stock investors because a lot of the retail stocks are the ones who actually beat the markets and went up to all-time high. But it's very hard to pinpoint what is, when it happens. So very smart people like Nouriel Roubini sort of are always saying this is going to happen, right? And it always happens at some point. So the real thing people need to think about is risk management and diversification. And if
is that why you guys sent the note to your investors or to your customer base? And in fact, I have the statement, Jan. I want to put it up on the screen, and it says, statement from Etoro: we are seeing extreme conditions in crypto markets. In response, in the first 11 days of 2021, we've had over 380,000 new register with Etoro and crypto trading volumes over 25x of the same period in 2021. We have therefore communicated with clients about the possibility of limitations to crypto buy orders this coming weekend. So why was this sent to your clients?
So again, generally, one of our sort of expertise from the first crypto rally is that a lot of clients are coming to buy cryptocurrencies, but not entirely understand either the risks or how the market works. or the importance of diversification when regards to crypto. So we are trying to be sensitive to the fact that a lot of people are coming to eToro to buy Bitcoin for the first time, and we want to make sure that they understand possible limitations and what might happen if now suddenly we're seeing, and again, that doesn't necessarily happen, but if we would have seen how Bitcoin go from 40 to 50 to 60 to 80 in a very short period of time, that would have been a very sort of uncertain part of the market, which we haven't seen before. So I think what we've seen, by the way, this week is dust actually settled off. And there was a bit of a less of a mania that we've seen last week. But our experience is it's good and important to tell people about the risks. We're also updating people more about diversification and the importance of diversification. We are big believers in crypto. I'm a hodler of Bitcoin, and I'll keep on hodling my Bitcoin. But it's important for people to remember that this is one asset class. It should be a part of a diversified portfolio if you want to keep your portfolio managed across time.
We are running out of time, but I'm trying to understand, why would limiting or potentially limiting buy orders, how would that help the cause? I mean, if I'm coming to buy crypto and I'm about to buy crypto on eToro for the first time, what are you doing by limiting or potentially limiting my buy orders?
Sure. So we don't necessarily know what happens when the market goes from 40,000 to 50,000 or 60,000, or how much money is going to go into the system, or whether some exchanges are going to have spreads widened, etc. We've seen a lot of these things in 2017, where the infrastructure of the ecosystem couldn't handle the previous bull run. I think we are now at a much better place from an infrastructure point of view. But we've also seen, the infrastructure of the actual financial system in 2008 and what happens there. So I think people just need to always be aware of risks in general, of the importance of diversification. And I think it's important for everyone to monitor, because I think in general, 2017 ended in something that wasn't good for the crypto market. So I think participants in the market need to be more responsible this time to make sure that we're not just driving the mania.
Okay, so Yoni, one more quick, in fact, two more quick questions. Are you getting more people than in 2017 diversifying their portfolios from stocks into crypto? So the people that came to the eToro platform traditionally for stocks, are you seeing those guys now go much more into crypto? I think what I'm trying to understand is crypto becoming much more of a okay thing to do? It's not such a taboo thing to hold. It's not so risky. People are saying, look, I need to add some Bitcoin to my portfolio.
So I'll divide the answer into two. First of all, obviously, we're a very crypto-friendly and crypto-native company. So still the majority of people holding stocks on eToro also hold cryptocurrencies. So a big part of our stock investors, who, if you look at what they're doing, they're mostly trading stocks. There's a high chance that they'll hold, whether it's 1% or 5% of their portfolio already in crypto. We definitely have seen 2021 starting with a significant part of our entire customer base suddenly trading crypto. So that's definitely something we've seen out of the entire customer base. But again, you need to remember, we are not a traditional bank where it was zero of our customers suddenly growing. A lot of our consumers are already familiar, the existing customers, with crypto. And actually, a lot of what we did over the past 3 years since the first real crypto rally is help our users understand to diversify from crypto into stocks as well.
Yoni, there were rumors that eToro was going to list on the NASDAQ, and people were talking about a $5 billion valuation. Are those rumors, or can we expect an IPO soon?
eToro doesn't comment on market rumors.
Okay, well, we will discuss the comments here in the chat. If you are watching this, I'd love to hear your views as to whether eToro is doing it. Yoni, can you comment on how many crypto account holders you guys have got at eToro?
Not out of context, but I know we just added 380,000 new registrations in the first week of January, and about 5.2 million registered users to the social network in 2020, which was already double than 2019. So 2020 for us was the rise of the millennial investor, mostly in the stock markets, and we started 2021 with a boom of going towards the crypto markets.
All right, Yoni, I wish I could stay and talk to you all day long because I've got so much to ask you, but that gives us an excuse to get you on again. So we'll see you again on Crypto Banter.
Thank you very much, Ron.
Guys, that's Yoni ASSIA, and he's my richest friend. In fact, my most inspirational friend. Thank you for watching.